Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Loopin' Through Life, heading yet another coaster dive today. Real quick before I want to get into today, I just want to get into today's sponsor of the video. I am rocking this custom-made El Toro Six Flags Great Adventure shirt, coming to you guys from Fictional Reality. I'll plug them in down below. Lots of great custom coaster shirts out there. But either way, guys, we're headed today for a coaster dive to cover a wooden roller coaster that literally rose itself from the dead, Phoenix at Knoebels.
Wow, a wooden coaster that survived decades of abuse and still delivers insane airtime. Kind of like your dating history, except Phoenix actually has fans, and nobody's taking out restraining orders against it.
This isn't just a regular coaster dive, it's a resurrection story, and honestly one of the best airtime machines on this planet.
Yeah, smooth. Unlike you, who trips over his own sentences on camera like it's an Olympic sport, let's dive into Phoenix before you embarrass yourself again.
Phoenix isn't just a roller coaster. It's a legend reborn. Nestled deep in the Pennsylvania woods at Knoebels Amusement Resort, Phoenix is one of the most iconic and beloved wooden coasters in the world. But its story doesn't start here. In fact, Phoenix had a whole other life before ever arriving at Knoebels. Originally built in 1947, this coaster opened as the Rocket at Playland Park in San Antonio, Texas. Designed by the legendary Herbert Paul Schmeck and constructed by the Philadelphia Toboggan Company, it was one of the tallest and longest wooden coasters of its time. It featured a double out and back layout, a 78-foot lift hill, and more than 3,000 feet of track. Massive stats for its day. The Rocket thrilled riders for over 3 decades. But by 1980, Playland Park shut down. The coaster's fate looked sealed until a little family-owned park in Pennsylvania decided to do something wild. That park was Knoebels. Known for its old-school charm, free admission, and a deep passion for classic rides, Knoebels made the bold decision to purchase the Rocket. But this wasn't just some plug-and-play project. The park dismantled the entire coaster piece by piece, labeling and numbering every board, and hauled it across the country. More than 30 flatbed trucks worth. No blueprints, no instructions, just faith and craftsmanship. And when it was finally rebuilt, they gave it a new name, Phoenix, after the mythical bird that rises from its own ashes. On June 15, 1985, Phoenix reopened to the public in Ellisburg, Pennsylvania, and it's been soaring ever since. Let's talk specs. Phoenix stands 78 feet tall and drops 72 feet, hitting speeds around 45 miles per hour. The full ride is about 3,200 feet long and lasts roughly 2 minutes. But this ride isn't about stats, it's about sensation. And what makes Phoenix a sensation is its restraint system, classic buzz bars. Unlike today's multi-point lap bars or seat belts, the buzz bar locks into one position across the whole row. That means minimal restriction and maximum airtime. And that's where Phoenix shines. Let's walk through the ride experience. You leave the station with a sharp turn directly into a dark tunnel. A simple but effective moment of suspense. Then you begin your climb. The lift hill gives a panoramic view of the trees before you crest the top and dive into the 72-foot first drop. It's fast, it's smooth, and then it's chaos, in the best way. Phoenix doesn't waste time. It hits you with 2 huge hills back-to-back that launch you out of your seat. The buzz bar does nothing to hold you down, so you float. Then it curves into a turnaround, followed by a double up and double down that throw you into the air again. The pacing is relentless. The airtime is pure joy. You hit another turnaround and then fly through a series of bunny hills that deliver some of the strongest sustained airtime on any coaster, wooden or steel. And this is what people come for. Not loops, not gimmicks, just air. Phoenix is one of those rare coasters that doesn't need modern tricks to wow you. It's all in the layout, the restraint system, and the soul of the ride. But let's talk about that smoothness. Phoenix might be nearly 80 years old if you count its original debut, but it runs smoother than coasters half its age. That's due to Knoebels' obsessive maintenance and care. The park doesn't treat Phoenix like a relic. It treats it like royalty. Trains are repainted, track is retracked, structure is reinforced, and every update stays faithful to the original design. It's this level of attention that's allowed Phoenix to remain one of the top-rated wooden coasters in the world, year after year. Speaking of awards, Phoenix has a trophy shelf that would make most rides jealous. It's been consistently ranked in the top 10 wooden coasters in the world by Amusement Today's Golden Ticket Awards, and it took the #1 spot multiple times. It's also an Ace Coaster landmark, recognized by the American coaster enthusiasts for its historical significance and engineering. And among coaster nerds, it's basically a pilgrimage. You haven't truly done wooden coasters until you've ridden Phoenix. But Phoenix isn't just a ride, it's part of Knoebels' identity. Knoebels itself is a throwback. It's one of the last true traditional amusement parks in America. There's no gate, no entry fee. You just walk in, buy tickets or a wristband, and enjoy. The park is still family-owned and run with an old-school charm that's become almost impossible to find. You can bring your own food. You can camp on site. You can spend an entire day there and not feel like you've been mugged by a corporate chain. And Phoenix fits that vibe perfectly. It's not flashy. It's not trying to compete with 400-foot-tall steel monsters. It just does its thing, and it does it better than almost any ride out there. Want to get the best ride? Here's what you do. Sit in the front row if you want the cleanest, smoothest airtime. Sit in the back if you want to be yanked over the drops with a little more aggression. But honestly, there's not a bad seat on the train. Warm summer afternoons tend to make Phoenix run faster, and that's when the airtime truly becomes otherworldly. Another tip? Go during Phoenix Fall Fun Fest. Every October, Knoebels hosts a special enthusiast event just for Phoenix. There's costume contests, ride takeovers, exclusive ride times. It's basically a festival for coaster lovers, and Phoenix is the star. Now, let's touch on the legacy. Phoenix wasn't just a great coaster, it was a game changer. It proved that old rides could be saved, relocated, and reborn better than ever. It inspired a movement in the coaster community to preserve historic attractions instead of demolishing them. Without Phoenix, we might not have saved other legends like the Zip and Pippin or the Wild One. Its success helped reframe how parks and fans view wooden coasters from the past. And maybe that's why Phoenix resonates so deeply. It's not just about airtime, it's about second chances, about respecting history while still having fun, about doing things the hard way, because it's worth it. In an industry obsessed with innovation, Phoenix is proof that sometimes perfection was already built decades ago. You just have to believe it's still worth riding. To this day, Phoenix remains the gold standard for what a wooden coaster can and should be. It doesn't have screens. It doesn't have fire effects. It doesn't need them. All it has is heart, hills, and one of the most satisfying rides you'll ever experience. So if you ever find yourself in Pennsylvania, make the trip, ride Phoenix, and float, just for a second, like you're weightless. Like you're part of something older and better than you expected. Like you've found a ride that doesn't just thrill, it flies. What makes Phoenix so unforgettable isn't just the airtime or the layout. It's the feeling. The kind of feeling that sneaks up on you halfway through the ride, somewhere between the second turnaround and the bunny hills, when you realize you're not just riding a roller coaster, you're riding a legacy. You're flying on the same track that thrilled riders nearly 80 years ago, reborn and reimagined but still true to its soul. You feel the craftsmanship in every curve, the heart in every hill. There's no onboard soundtrack, no synchronized lighting package, no animatronic wizard yelling at you through a fog machine. Just wood, speed, and the whistle of the wind between trees older than the ride itself. It's pure, honest, timeless. In a world obsessed with the next big thing, Phoenix is a reminder that some thrills don't need reinvention, they just need respect. And when you finally roll back into that station, heart pounding and hair windswept, you don't just feel like you've ridden something special. You feel like you were part of something sacred, a flight worth remembering. Thanks for joining us on today's Coaster Dive. Now it's back to the studio with Ryan and Ferris.
And that's going to be a wrap today, guys. We're going to deep dive into Phoenix, proof that sometimes the best coasters are the ones that refuse to die.
Unlike your last 3 relationships, which barely made it past the lift hill before derailing spectacularly.
Either way, guys, Phoenix is a classic. It's a staple amongst thrill seekers all around, and it's an airtime machine.
And the only thing more shocking than its airtime is that you somehow convinced people you're a coaster expert. But hey, even a broken clock's right twice a day.